The evolution of smartphone photography has been nothing short of revolutionary, with brands continuously pushing the boundaries of what's possible with mobile imaging. While flagship smartphones from Google, Apple, and Samsung have largely converged in terms of camera quality, processing algorithms, and AI-driven enhancements, Vivo has taken a different approach. Rather than simply improving raw photographic output, it has introduced thoughtful, user-friendly software features that enhance creativity and usability features that, frankly, I wish Google and Apple would borrow for their own devices. The Vivo X200 Pro is the latest example of this innovation, delivering not just top-tier camera hardware but also software enhancements that feel like they were designed with photographers in mind. It introduces two significant modes: landscape mode and street photography mode, both of which make a compelling case for how smartphone photography can become more intuitive and enjoyable. These are not just gimmicks but meaningful upgrades that lower the barrier to entry for capturing stunning photos. Landscape mode, a must-have for nature and travel photography. I never realized I needed a dedicated landscape mode until I started using it, and now, I find myself instinctively reaching for it whenever I'm in a scenic setting. Typically, capturing breathtaking landscapes requires a mix of manual settings, creative composition, and post-processing tweaks. Vivo's new landscape mode simplifies this process by consolidating all essential functions into a single, easy-to-navigate interface. At first glance, the mode might seem like a minor addition, but the impact it has on workflow is immense. Rather than having to dig through a complicated Pro mode to adjust settings, everything is presented clearly in one place. This allows users to quickly fine-tune their shots without breaking their creative flow. One of the standout features within landscape mode is the film simulation presets. These aren't just generic filters but thoughtfully crafted adjustments that tweak color tones and sharpness to suit different landscape scenarios. Vivo has taken a unique approach by offering a distinct set of film simulations specifically for landscapes, separate from the main camera's presets. My personal favorite is the soft setting, which subtly reduces sharpness for a more organic, film-like aesthetic. Another major highlight is perspective correction. This feature isn't new to Vivo devices, but it has traditionally been buried under layers of menu options, making it easy to forget. By integrating it directly into landscape mode, Vivo has made it far more accessible, allowing for perfectly straight horizon lines and distortion-free architecture shots. For those who enjoy night photography, Vivo has bundled standard night mode features into landscape mode, but it goes even further. One of the most exciting additions is an integrated star chart, a game changer for astrophotography enthusiasts. Instead of needing a third-party app to locate celestial objects, users can now access a built-in guide that helps frame stars, planets, and constellations within their shots. Coupled with long exposure settings and an AI-enhanced moon photography feature, this makes shooting the night sky more intuitive than ever. These are the kinds of innovations I wish Google and Apple would integrate into their stock camera apps. While Google's Pixel lineup is known for computational photography, it still relies on a more general approach rather than creating purpose-built modes for specific shooting styles. Apple's ProRAW format and night mode are powerful, but they lack the kind of seamless, photographer-friendly UI that Vivo has introduced. Street photography mode, bringing a classic camera feel to smartphones. While landscape mode enhances nature and travel photography, street photography mode is where the Vivo X200 Pro truly shines for everyday shooting. Vivo has taken inspiration from traditional rangefinder cameras, adding a Fuji-style overlay that replicates the feel of classic film cameras. This is more than just a visual gimmick, it fundamentally changes the way you interact with your smartphone's camera. One of the most significant improvements is how it handles focal lengths. Most smartphones allow users to zoom in and out, but street photography mode offers a much more precise system. It lets you instantly swap between 24mm, 28mm, 35mm, 50mm, 85mm, and 135mm focal lengths, mimicking the experience of changing prime lenses on a DSLR or mirrorless camera. This is a godsend for photographers who prefer specific focal lengths and want to maintain a consistent look in their work. Another groundbreaking addition is the virtual aperture adjustment. While portrait mode on most smartphones uses AI to simulate a shallow depth of field, Vivo has taken this concept a step further. The street photography mode allows users to adjust the aperture in real time, previewing how different depth of field effects will look before taking the shot. This level of control is something typically reserved for professional cameras, and Vivo has managed to integrate it seamlessly into a smartphone. Beyond that, the mode provides easy access to shutter speed, exposure, and white balance adjustments, making it feel more like a traditional camera rather than a smartphone. This is a big deal because while Pro modes exist on most flagship smartphones, they tend to be cumbersome and overloaded with options that aren't always relevant to street photography. Vivo's approach simplifies things by only surfacing the most important tools, keeping the experience fluid and engaging. Why Google and Apple should take note. The features found in the Vivo X200 Pro are not just fun additions, they represent a shift in how smartphone photography can be made more intuitive and accessible. Both Google and Apple have incredible imaging capabilities, but their software still largely caters to casual users, with pro features buried deep within settings. Google's Pixel cameras excel in computational photography, using AI to enhance low light performance and dynamic range. However, its manual control options are still limited, and there's no dedicated mode that caters specifically to landscape or street photographers. A Pixel-exclusive street photography mode with focal length presets and virtual aperture adjustments could be a game-changer for enthusiasts. Apple, on the other hand, has focused on ProRAW and computational enhancements, but the experience still lacks the kind of specialized shooting modes that Vivo has introduced. The iPhone's default camera app remains relatively rigid, requiring third-party apps for more advanced control. Adding a dedicated landscape mode with built-in astrophotography tools and perspective correction would make the iPhone's camera far more versatile for professionals and hobbyists alike. Vivo has proven that small, thoughtful software changes can make a huge difference in how we use smartphone cameras. The X200 Pro's innovative approach to photography feels like a natural evolution, one that both Google and Apple should seriously consider integrating into their next-generation devices. If flagship smartphones truly aim to replace traditional cameras, they need to do more than just improve hardware. They need to rethink how users interact with their cameras and how photography can be made more intuitive, engaging, and creative.